Let's go and explore, Jennifer. I can't help but notice this peach rim over here.
Yes.
It's very bright and cheery.
It is. And I think the works in this room are really interesting because there is a focus on American artists in this room. And so much of the rest of the exhibition, we do see a lot of European artists working, but in here, we have works by, I had mentioned Marie Cassatt, who, although she lived most of her life in France, was American. We have works by Metcalf, and then we have works by John Singer Sargent.
Okay.
And so I thought we could take a look at the Sargent portrait here. So John Singer Sargent was an American, but he was actually born in Europe and spent much of his career in Europe and France and England and in Italy.
Quite a scandalous story behind this artist.
So he was probably the premier portrait painter of his time. He did portraits of kind of the aristocracy all over Europe and in the US. However, he had a portrait that he did of, that it was entitled Madame X, and she was wearing what was considered quite a scandalous dress in this portrait, and it really caused a furor, and as a result of that, for a period of time, he was having a very hard time getting commissions because people did not necessarily want to have a portrait that would be even tangentially associated with this kind of scandalous painting. So he was having a hard time getting commissions. He was trying to build back up his career as a portrait painter. And he moved to France and was living in a studio/apartment in Paris. And his landlord were the Poissons. And so this is a portrait of the wife, and the family lore in that family is that this was painted in lieu of his rent. So he used this as a way to pay the rent.
And at this exhibition, it's a way for Western New Yorkers to kind of reflect on Buffalo, especially with Ralph Wilson. He truly is an icon here in the Queen City. In this next room, well, that's a place where you can do that. Absolutely.
And so in this room, this kind of last room that we're going to step into, there are actually only 2 objects in here, and they are not part of our collection, but they really are pretty spectacular objects. So we have, in this case, a helmet and a football that were in the collection of Ralph C. Wilson Jr.
Wow.
So the way that this collaboration came together was actually through Ralph C. Wilson Jr. in that when he left a legacy to the 2 cities that he loved most. He left a foundation that is dedicated to supporting Detroit and Buffalo, specifically. And so this exhibition is a way for those 2 cities to kind of come together in one space, and this is why the 2 museums got together. This exhibition is here now. It is going to travel to Detroit, and will be...
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so it's going to be opening there over the summer, and so both cities will get a chance to see the 2 collections kind of come together. And this is about also bringing together, like I said, those 2 cities that he really loved. So we're really honored to be able to put this exhibition together to kind of connect with and partner with Detroit and to highlight some really wonderful works of art.
Well, Jennifer, we can't thank you enough for letting us come out here today, and always something new to learn and see here at the Albright-Knox Art Gallery. What days and hours are you open so we can come and see?
Great questions. So we're here Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 5, except on first Fridays when we're open until 10, and then from the rest of the Fridays in May when we'll be open till 8.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And we want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Humble and Human exhibition in honor of Ralph C. Wilson Jr. You got to come out and see it for yourself and truly appreciate the Queen City and what Mr. Wilson had to offer.